If you were going to start a Hall of Fame for con men, Barry Minkow would have to be one of the first inductees. He was one of the most famous stock swindlers of the 1980s, and certainly the youngest. At age 20, he was the boy wonder of Wall Street, CEO of a $300 million company. At 22, he'd been convicted of 57 counts of fraud and was off to federal prison. Now, at age 39, Barry Minkow is back in the spotlight, not for committing fraud, but for exposing it. He's seeking redemption as an evangelical minister and by going undercover to help federal law enforcement agencies crack a number of important cases, proving that when it comes to con men, it takes one to know one. Everything you say today, you're going to tell me the whole truth, nothing but the truth, right?
Brings back memories.
As well it should. 19 years ago, Barry Minkow perpetrated a con so audacious that it's still taught as a case study in business and accounting schools.
Call me when the market closes.
He founded ZZZZ Carpet Cleaning when he was just 16 years old, then franchised it into a chain, and finally took it public.
We clean carpets with such care, I'll guarantee the work and our price in writing.
On paper, he was worth $100 million. He drove a Ferrari and even appeared on Oprah Winfrey, touting himself and his stock.
Think big, be big.
Really?
End of story. I started with the best of intentions, really, I can say that much. And when economic pressure reared its ugly head and I couldn't make payroll, I lied and stole and cheated.
He borrowed money from the mob, cooked the books for accountants, and lied to investors about tens of millions of dollars in insurance contracts to restore buildings damaged by fire and water.
We were claiming to be doing restoration jobs totaling in excess of $50 million. We weren't doing any. And so,
How did you manage to convince bankers, lawyers, investors that this was on the up and up?
By getting an auditing firm and getting them the paperwork and much to our shame, creating documents that would support earnings and contracts, 22,000 documents.
All phony?
Yeah, cutting and pasting, whiteout. What, Nag?
When a major accounting firm finally demanded to see one of the restoration jobs, Minkow found a brand new building in Sacramento, paid off a guard, and brought the auditors in on a Saturday morning.
We'd give the guard $50 to recognize us. We'd bring the auditors in. They'd say, hi. And we'd walk up and say, yeah, we just did all this. We put signs about Z-Best. It was like a Hollywood production. And we went to great lengths to fool and to deceive.
But it worked.
You know, most frauds, that's the way they are. I call it the second law of fraudodynamics. They go from order to disorder. They work, but it's not if you're going to get caught, but when.
When it did collapse, he left investors holding the bag for $26 million, wiping out life savings and ruining lives. He founded a company called the Fraud Discovery Institute and lectures business students, law enforcement officers, and corporate executives on white-collar crime. He actually began investigating white-collar crime 2 years ago when a friend asked him to check out a questionable investment.
I looked at the thing, and it was volumes of information and websites, and I thought to myself, if I was a crook, what would I do to pull this off? And I thought, there's a unique approach.
He quickly discovered the company, MX Factors, was operating without a business license and appeared to be a scam. So he wrote up a report and sent it off to a federal postal inspector named Tim France.
He urgently asked me to look into it.
It turned out to be a big fraud.
Yes, $35 million in losses.
And you wouldn't have known about this unless Barry Minkow had brought it to you.
That's absolutely right. I probably would not have known about it until it collapsed.
Since then, Minkow has helped law enforcement expose 11 suspected scams. He's even gone undercover for the FBI wearing a wire. The biggest case involved financial advisory consultants run by James Lewis, who's charged with bilking investors out of $300 million in retirement money. Minkow is much less interested in prosecuting frauds than he is in exposing them while they're still going on. He searches public records, employs private detectives, and goes undercover to perform the kind of due diligence most investors don't know how to do. He's now helped authorities uncover far more fraud than he ever perpetrated, and as a result, Judge Dikran Tavrisian, who originally sentenced Minkow to 25 years, released him from the terms of his probation.
He's uncovered several hundreds of million dollars worth of frauds,
And I give him credit for that.
You can take what you used to use for evil and manipulative reasons and to hurt people and use those same talents and abilities to help them. And I believe people can change.
For more of our interview with Barry Minkow, go to our website at 60minutes.com.